3 students, Mr. Morgan here. Guys, I'm going to talk to you about the note cards that we're using for my Antonia. It was very important to me that we take quality notes, and in the past I've noticed that usually our notes consist of only summary. And summary is only step 1 of 3. Remember the story of the psychologist? If she only wrote down the summary and then didn't think about it, didn't analyze it, didn't provide evidence back to her patient, she probably wouldn't have done a very good job. So it was very important to me that as you guys were reading my Antonia, that you were going through that same process when you were reading. So at this point on Thursday, we're through the first 10 chapters of the book. And I'm going to reference the reading plan for the novel here on the board. So if you'll take a look here at the reading plan, you'll notice that it shows the due dates and what is due on those days. So today is Thursday, February 1, and we're through chapter 10. So last night's reading was chapters 6 through 10 of book 1. So today what you should have come to class with was one note card that has the summary of those chapters, one note card that had how you're seeing the 10 themes we discussed being developed, and one card that showed the evidence, lines from the actual chapters that would support the development of those themes. So I want to go through that process with you of last night's reading. So if you'll notice on the board here, I have the text here, and currently I'm using the ebook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it. I'm thinking about it, I'm discussing it. And for example, here is chapter 1 of book 1. The young man hops off the train. We find out in the very first sentence of the book that he's lost his parents, and now he's moving all the way across the United States from Virginia to Nebraska. As he's riding from the train station in Lincoln to the small town of Black Hawk, they meet a family. The family's name was the Shimerdas, that's right. And he meets a young girl named Antonia. So bullet points for this. Jim Burden, identified character, has lost his parents and is moving to Virginia. Bullet point 2, he meets a family named the Shimerdas. Bullet point 3, he's tasked with teaching their oldest daughter, Antonia, English. Those are the things, really the only things I need to know about chapter 1, because my brain can fill in the blanks of the rest. Okay, come with me over here to the board. On Tuesday, we identified 10 themes from this novel. These themes show up through all of Willa Cather's work. Friendship, love, memory, a strong connection between the earth and its people, often suffering of characters, a strong link to the past, class and society struggles, the issue of immigration. Has that been an American issue throughout history? We are a country of immigrants. The study of youth. And because it's Willa Cather, we notice the topic of gender. What are gender roles in society? How do we address gender? And so these are the 10 themes. So let's be more specific. I've already identified here in chapter 1 some summary items. So my next card after summary is going to be what?
Themes.
Themes, that's correct. Good job, class. Yes, my next one is going to be themes. So in chapter 1, when we see him arriving, we see him learning, we see a brand new environment. Of those 10 themes that we just mentioned, which ones do we already see being to be being built by the author as early as chapter 1? Friendship. Great answer, Ciara. Dylan, which ones do you see also being developed?
Adventure in the past.
Ah, yeah. So we know that we're looking back into the past here. So yes, we can absolutely make that argument. Sustina, do you feel that immigration could also be a theme? Why would you say immigration could be an early theme being developed?
How they're moving, like how they're moving, Jim is moving, and also Antonia and her family.
That's $1 million answer, Miss Sustina. Yes, both Jim and Antonia they're both immigrants, but they have different abilities. Jim already speaks the language. She is going to have to learn. Jim has a big house waiting for him that he gets to move into while he adjusts to this new land. Antonia, what does she live in? Her first home in this new land will be small, dark, damp cave. That's her first home. So yes, we see the immigration, the friendship, looking back at the past, already being developed. So I'm going to write that down on card number 2, which is themes. Both characters are immigrants to this new land of Nebraska. Both characters are beginning to see how important friendship is going to be for their survival. Someone give me my third theme that I could write down here. How would I put that into a sentence?
Is it evidence of a theme?
Yeah. We're still on identifying themes within the chapter. We've talked about friendship. We've talked about immigration. Give me one more way. We've discussed this. Now we just need to put it into a coherent sentence. Yeah. Good answer. We see as he's laying in the back of the wagon on the bumpy road from Lincoln to Blackhawk that he sees that he is now just an infinitesimal speck in this massive barren land where the stars are enveloping them. He doesn't even say his prayers that first night. He says, I realized then that what will be will be. What a way to end a chapter. So yes, great job there. Okay, so that's 2 cards. We have our summary. We see how she's already introducing the key themes of this novel on our second card. Okay, our third card are going to be key quotes or lines that back up our ideas about what the themes are in this chapter. Let's see if we can spot some things that we might want to include from this chapter that really back up the ideas that we're beginning to realize are going on here. So I'm going to slowly look here at this chapter, and as I read through it, what were some things that jumped out at me as the teacher since we've identified some of these themes? Ooh, look at this. Jake says that you're likely to get diseases from foreigners. What would you say the attitude towards these other immigrants do the local people have?
They're negative or like stereotypical?
Oh, yes. Negative and stereotypical. Just because you're from another place, I don't want to get around you because you probably have some disease that you're going to give to me. You're probably bad for my community. I distrust you. What did you say?
Very rude.
Yeah, it's rude too. It's unfair and it is a stereotype. So, yes, we see that the struggles of immigration, the adjusting to a new place. So, that would be a line from the book that backs up the idea of class and society struggles as well as immigration. You see what I did there? So that's the evidence piece. So we summarize it, we identify what themes are being developed, and then we provide evidence on the third card of how we see those themes being developed. Any questions? All right, thank you, class.